Bennington Show, the only father-daughter radio show in the history of radio. I'm Gail Bennington.
I'm Ron Bennington, and once again, I have no idea what the intro means. I don't know who Billy Boy is. I don't know what's going on.
Here's the thing about the intro. And by the way, we're just taking a quiet moment just before that intro. We're kind of all just looking at our phones. In comes Chris screaming, "Billy Boy likes that strange." It takes me so long to figure out he's talking about Bill Gates because no one's ever called him Billy Boy.
Thank you.
Never once.
No, he's not the Billy Boy type at all.
Here's the thing.
So, what's the actual story, Chris? Yeah.
So Bill Gates spoke to his people, the Bill Gates Foundation, and admitted to them, "I had 2 affairs with Russian women. I met them through Epstein, but that's it. Sure, I was on his his plane a couple of times, but I saw no wrongdoing ever. But I did have 2 affairs with 2 Russian women."
All right, so here's the thing. They're always Russians or Eastern Europeans. Mm-hmm. Now, can I tell you what happened with Billy Boy in his life?
Please.
So if you ever go back and look at him when he started his company in college, he looked like he was 12 years old and was picked last for gym class, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously when he was younger, he did not meet any women. And then he starts his company and he meets a very nice lady who works for his company who's like, "Hey, I'm into this kind of stuff. He's into this kind of stuff. And guess what? In his own way, he's an alpha. And I think I'm interested in him." And then he met her, they dated, and he married her, right? Mm-hmm. Because he couldn't believe he was with a woman. Like, he was fucking blown away that he was with a woman, and also a woman that could talk software.
Yeah.
So then as the years go by, you know, he's billions and billions and billions of dollars richer. He's like, well, now I could get any woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
I fucked up. I have a wife and kids, and it's fucking terrible. So then he meets Epstein, and Epstein is well connected to women that he could say, "Go with this one. You go with that one." And so he went for it. And then he got, I don't know, syphilis or some shit, right?
Yeah, something.
He got some kind of STD of some kind.
Right.
And then he said to Epstein, "How do I sneak medicine into my wife's food so she doesn't realize that she's got an STD?"
Which, by the way, I'm going to throw this out there. A lot of questionable life choices, but they're life choices that we know people have fucked up and made before. Cheating on your spouse and doing...
They're normal.
And of course, I'm going to just go with, if we're talking about a consenting adult, of course, okay? But it's the sneaking of, like, the implied sneaking of medicine into someone's food or drink.
That's bad.
That is actually so sinister and gross that's, to me, the worst part of this whole story.
I mean, a man would say to his wife, "Hey, I fucked up.
Yes.
I got an STD, and I'm worried that you have one." And then take the fucking punishment, which is probably going to be, you know, a normal amount of punishment in a marriage where she's like, "You fucking prick. I knew you were a piece of shit." You have to take that. You have to be the guy who takes the shit.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You know, life goes on, everything improves. Or she divorces you if she's one of those type of people. But you don't try to make her take a medication without a doctor being involved in it.
That's a roofie, dog.
I literally know a circumstance of a coworker that I had years ago that had this situation happen to her where she went for a regular routine exam at the gynecologist. Yeah. She gets results back of STDs, and she's like, "Surely this is a mix-up. Can't be me. Not me with just my husband." And then he had to come clean and then say, I'm a sex addict, here's all the information. Not only am I just like, I'm not cheating on you with one person, I'm sleeping with multiple people that I'm meeting on like Tinder a day. And this has been going on for a while. And they decided to work through said problem, and that
a lot of people
this
do.
is a thing. This is a thing that happens. It's not a great thing, but people make choices. What we don't do is drug people's food and lie to them about the STDs that they have. That's so fucking dark. I can't even believe it.
Well, look, Chris Stanley had to come to his special lady and tell her he's been eating the food while she's been sleeping.
You know, it's pretty close to the truth,
Where's all
Ron.
that pudding?
For a long time, he was lying to her and trying to tell her it was paranormal activity. And, that's not good. That's going to make someone crazy. But eventually, yes, he did come clean and say, I'm eating all our food, okay?
I'm eating the snacks. Hey, where'd the snacks go? I don't know. It's crazy.
Also entrees, Chris.
Some of those were for dinner later in the week.
I call it early dinner.
Yeah, but early dinner usually means hours early, not days.
All right, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations are out today. And let's see if you guys think these people should go in. Right off the top, it's Lenny Marcus. Lenny Marcus.
Lenny Marcus.
Oh, wait. You know what? I'm reading the wrong list. I got 2 lists sent to me.
I can't imagine that's the correct list.
Can I tell you? I feel like Lenny belongs in there because he's very hard to follow. You know what I mean? You have to bring an A game when Lenny Marcus is on the show.
That's a vote for yes, then, for me.
A lot of times, if I have to follow him at the cellar, I just go like this. Fuck. All right, so here are the big names. Would you... Now, I don't know how many of these people they pick, but we've got a stack of folks.
Right.
Black Crowes. The Black Crowes. Chris Stanley.
Yeah. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's...
Here's the thing about the Black Crowes, if I'm a voter. Great rock and roll band. But did they move the art form ahead? They went backwards. You know what I mean?
Right, true. Right.
So from the Faces. So great band, but, and literally one of those great first albums sold like 5 million or something during the grunge age. You know what I mean? Like people act like, and then we all listened to grunge. No, you didn't. You listened to grunge and. It's always
exactly.
So both of you, Earl, where are you on the Black Crowes?
I really can't say whether or not they should belong in because as a voter, I got to keep my vote close.
But
close.
I won't ask you what your vote is, but what do you think of them?
Oh, I love the band. I think they're a fantastic rock and roll band. I think the last of the really great rock and roll bands.
Yeah, their last album came out too, and it sounds like the first album in a lot of ways, but you talk to people and you're like, they're very consistent. So would you say they're good enough to vote for? Was that crossing the line? Does that cross the line?
That's a good...
are they worthy of a vote? But I cannot say, well,
you can't
yes or
say
no.
what you're going to do.
He takes that very seriously, as you know.
Well, he should. Jeff Buckley.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm also going to disagree with this because he's really known for one song that he didn't write. I mean, he didn't really get into the zeitgeist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of almost later. Like, it had one of those things where I feel like he's talked about maybe even more in post than in, like...
Well, he didn't have much of a life. The poor guy died very, very young. Who's the guy who did Pink Moon, though? Is he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Nick Drake.
Nick Drake, is he in?
No, he is not in.
Okay, so you'd have to say.
Okay.
See, here's one of the things, Earl, that you could bring up at a meeting, is that maybe there should be some different divisions. Ooh. You know what I mean? So you could say some of the folkies go this way, some of the R&B people, because we have a lot of people, and I'll just say it, Eddie Trunk. And he's also a voter. Earl, he's a voter, right?
Yes, Eddie is a voter.
All right, so we have just 2 people from Faction Talk, or Is there anybody else that votes? All right. What do you think of Buckley?
I personally love Jeff Buckley. I think the first album is just a straight up classic. I'm trying not to give it away.
The amount of work you're saying, if you looked at anything, it would be the amount of work that he did in his short life. Although Buddy Holly is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Very short.
Oddly, the Big Bopper is not. Hello, baby.
That's Wadeism.
He was really big and seemingly a lot older than everybody.
Big Bopper and John Popper not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Bopper and Popper
That's
not
interesting.
in it?
Mama Cass is in though, so that's something.
Okay,
that's a win.
That could maybe be its own category or at least own room. It's just like the kind of weight is race. Like, who are some of our fattest rock stars who have made it into
most
the rock
overweight,
and roll?
not fattest.
Oh, I don't know the terms that you guys use. I'm trying to go with the times. I don't know.
The guy from Mountain belongs in there because he was much bigger than people expected. I don't think Mountain is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame either. Now, they're going to do a Mama Cass movie because she was like well connected with everybody. Like she was a real scenester. And this is like the third time they were going to do it. The first time John Candy was going to play her.
Oh.
And I think that would have been good.
Would have been hysterical and have heart.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. He did have heart.
All right, so you guys so far, and I'm not counting Earl, you haven't crossed the line, Earl, but you guys are putting in everybody so far.
Yeah, so far.
What about this one?
Everyone's
huge pop star, Mariah Carey.
Look, they have set the parameters and the precedent that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is actually the Music Hall of Fame. We know that people have crossed genres from pop and hip hop and all sorts of genres that don't really remind us of rock and roll. So therefore, under the precedent that they've set, yes, Mariah Carey goes in.
Mariah Carey, just a massive thing, particularly in like the first half of the 90s.
Yes.
Just massive. Chris?
I disagree. I mean, why do we have to be a slave to the parameters? Why can't the parameters go backwards? I mean, her entire career has been condensed to one Christmas song. I know the 90s she was big, but
isn't true.
To 2026.
Yes, of course, in a modern day. But she has had, I mean, I can't hit you with the numbers, but doesn't she have like crazy records for how many singles she's had?
She sold a lot of records.
I mean, insane. Earl, what do you think of her?
I think she's up like top 3 number ones of all time. I mean, she's had an unbelievable career. She owns Christmas. Would I consider it? It's definitely worth consideration, but I'm not going to give up. She is worthy.
Thing to come up.
Okay, but he can't give us.
The difference between me and Earl, if I was a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame voter, I would tell you who I was voting for.
I would love that.
Fully transparent.
All right, here's a person I can't believe he's not in. One of the biggest acts of the 80s, both in a band and as a single, Phil Collins.
Wow, you're just telling me this for the first time. He isn't in, and anyone I've ever assumed
he's probably in with Genesis.
Right, sure. But even as a single act, I'm shocked.
And it does annoy me that people go in for different things. You're in already, okay? I'm not going to keep putting you in. You know, you don't put a fucking baseball player in for each team that he played for.
Right. That is a great point, actually. Your name is in.
And that's what I would be saying as a voter. Earl, I know you can't say. For these two, it's a slam dunk. Is Phil Collins worthy?
Definitely worthy. He pretty much owned the first half of the 80s with hits. I mean,
and Christmas.
Maybe even the second half.
Yes. So in that being said, Earl, do you feel like can you give us a little bit more of what your vote would be, or no? You can't give us anything.
Was he worthy? Is he worth considering? Yes. I mean, I would say he would get strong consideration. I mean, again, he just pretty much through 88, 89, he had hit after hit after hit after hit. Basically, from 1980 on.
I don't like it. It's not called the Phil Collins Hall of Fame. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Look, I mean, and again, precedent here.
Melissa Etheridge.
Okay, Melissa Etheridge. I don't know any of your emotions about this, guys, but for me, that's also an absolute yes. Not only for her body of work, but that really cool 12-string guitar that she made that I really wanted when I was in high school. And I never got, but I would always play it while I was at the guitar store. I think she's absolutely incredible. I think she's a great songwriter. Melissa Etheridge is a yes from me. What about you, Chris?
No, 100% Melissa Etheridge is going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not just saying that she deserves to go in. I'm saying she is going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Stupid. All right, I will tell you this, and I didn't know this until actually when I was playing Dream Week baseball. I found out that she is such a major star in the lesbian scene that she was considered like the lesbian Springsteen. So that might give her a little extra booth. Where are you on it, Earl?
I've seen her twice, and it was one of the most intense live shows I've ever seen. Is she worth considering? Does she belong there? Yes. In terms of consideration, absolutely. But and again, I'm not going to go one way or the other. But she's highly considered.
Here's a tough one, Lauryn Hill.
Well, Ron, I'm going to jump in because this ain't tough for me. It's 100% yes. I love Lauryn Hill. I think she's a fantastic artist. I think she has proven to be a true artist from the moment we met her in the Fugees to the solo work. It's yes. That's a real artist right there.
She may be a real artist, but she's not going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she just doesn't belong there. I mean, the mental illness really hurt her career, and I mean, what are we doing? 2 albums, one an ensemble project. Lauryn Hill, you are not getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
What?
It does kind of make sense that you have to look at body of work. Earl?
If this is a tough one because, again, there was only one album. But it's that one album that, to this day, people of a certain age, they know every lyric of that album.
Absolutely.
Every single lyric of that album. I think it's... Would I consider it? I mean, I would give it consideration. Definitely give it consideration. But I think knowing voters, knowing how the other voters that I know, I think this is going to be one of those borderline ones.
Earl, did they send you guys out to the big party, the big HBO party?
Yep, we go. We get the invites to the big parties, and if it's in New York, I try to make it, and but usually, but the one in Cleveland, I never get a chance to go to Cleveland for the actual when they've had it a couple of times at the Hall of Fame directly.
Billy Idol.
Yeah, that's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I feel like he's one of the type of people that's like a shoo-in. It's a yes from me, but I feel like it's going to be a yes from everyone.
It's a travesty Billy Idol is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's totally ridiculous. And that's on the voters. That's not on Billy, because Billy's body of work works.
That Billy Idol last year, that was the one that almost like people got into screaming matches with. Almost fist fights almost broke out over Billy Idol. He just missed last year. I think he's going to be very strongly considered this year.
Wow, I didn't know it went to near violence.
I think this band should have been in a long time ago. In Excess.
Yeah, that's another one that the time is due. I would have voted yes for them every time. So yes.
Look, they're a first-time nominee, and I'm predicting right now, and I'm not a voter, I'm predicting that they're going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't going to screw over INXS. They're going to give them all the love they've always deserved.
I'm really biased towards this band because this is the first concert I ever saw, and they were unbelievable live. This was one of those bands you're just kind of like, guys, what are we doing here? It was almost like, again, another shouting match. Strongly, very, very high with me as far as who's going in.
I just want to say that Earl has been very diplomatic about not giving us, but that was the biggest hint yet, I feel, of knowing which way he would vote.
Iron Maiden.
I accept it. Yes, the Iron Maiden is going to go in, should go in. I would never say no to the people. I feel like yes.
I'm saying absolutely not. It's 'cause that stupid skeleton on all the dumb album covers. I don't like him. I don't like the music. I think it sucks. I think it has no right. And maybe if there's some metal Hall of Fame or whatever, but yeah, sure. But not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sorry, Iron Maiden heads. Also, it's a torture device. I don't want to vote a torture device into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
This is this is the one band that, like metal has always been, it kind of and we call it the war room. It's always been kind of the one divisive thing. There was like, is it really this? Is it really that? And does it Hall of Fame worthy? But Maiden has always been in that conversation all the way through. And I think this is the year that, I think this could be the year that, they get the tipping point and they get it.
Never, Earl.
All right. So a lot of people complaining that Eddie is not a skeleton, but Chris doesn't really know much about this. So,
what is he, a ghoul?
Joy Division, New Order, which is cheating in my opinion to put them both together.
Cheating, and yet I say cheat to win. Yes, and yes from me. This might be the top of my own personal list. So yes.
I'm not fucking voting in some twofer. I'm not a voter, but I'm also not supporting any voters voting in a 2 for Tuesday. I mean, their Blue Monday is going to be a Black Monday when they don't make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Is it announced on a Monday?
Well, why are you being weird? Why don't you just fucking say yes or no?
Just be a person.
Earl?
Joy Division, that's one that has been, we kind of went back and forth on because, you can't help it if a band member dies. And they just decided to go on, and they kind of carried on the tradition of said band, of that band, and kept it pushing forward.
Okay. So why wasn't Beatles Wings? You know what I mean? Why wasn't it Beatles Plastic Ono Band? It's stupid. Right. One band can go in, the other band doesn't necessarily get to go in. They have to go in on their own merits. No one told them to change their name.
Nope.
This has got to be an easy one for Earl. New Edition.
Yeah, New Edition is going to be easy for Earl, and I think, I don't think that they will. Is this first round, I believe, for them? So I kind of feel like they're not going to get in first round, but it probably won't happen for them.
First-time nominee, never going to get inducted. I couldn't tell you one New Edition song. My bad, folks, but it's not going to happen for New Edition.
Not Candy Girl?
Oh, that might be. There we go.
I don't know what they did.
No to New Edition.
The subject of how we bring in the boy band era. Obviously with the Jackson 5, they're technically a boy band, a very good one, an excellent one. But they, New Edition carried on. They brought boy bands back, and then you had the New Kids and Backstreet and NSYNC and all those other guys.
Yes, any bands with boys in it.
Stop rattling off boy bands.
Oasis,
I can't believe didn't go first round the first time that they were nominated. Let's just get it right. And also, let's give the people what they want to see. You know what I mean? Put Oasis in. Put them in now.
Look, I've always called them Beatles 2.0. Beatles 1.0 is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why wouldn't they put the new version in? All the way. Oh, wait.
You think you're breaking news with that, dude?
2.0, dude. 2.0. Ain't no one know Brit Rock like this guy.
What? Why are you talking
They should
like
give me
that?
a fucking vote.
This is getting weirder by the minute. All right.
Pink
is, look, if the parameters made sense, this is a first round, I believe, for Pink. I don't think that she'll get in this round. I don't think she needs to get in this round. But as an eventual Music Hall of Fame, which this is, Pink goes in. Pink has been a pop star for a very long time.
I could care less how long she's been a pop star. Look, she belongs in the Ringling Brothers Hall of Fame because she's just an acrobat dog.
Look, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Screw her. She's a sellout. No.
All right. The Smooth Operator, Sade.
Ooh, love Sade. Put Sade in. What a fantastic artist Sade is. Yes.
She had 2 songs? No. Smooth Operator is a great song. I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of it, but she don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Body of work. No one's been talking about Sade forever, man. No Sade.
Talking about Sade. We've been talking about Sade.
Shakira.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Her hips don't lie, and neither does the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Put her in first round.
Look, I'm very physically attracted to her, Shakira.
But
that doesn't mean I should vote for her art. Look, Hips Don't Lie, again, great song, fun, Super Bowl halftime show.
What about She-Wolf?
Sure, She-Wolf too. But no, she does not get in. She's great, but she don't get in.
All right, here's an interesting one. Really, really big R&B guy, and also invented the burger donut.
No.
Luther Vandross.
Wow, I can't believe that Luther Vandross is not already in. I don't know. Make it right. Put him in. Put Luther Vandross in. Put him in.
There's no reason Luther Vandross isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame besides of just literally people looking down on the overweight. Luther Vandross is an amazing voice, amazing man. Put him in. Just get this over with. Just do it. Give the man his due.
One of the conversations that we had was lineage. And then Luther, the debate was whether or not Luther was part of that lineage. And not only was he a great singer, he was a great student of music. So that was one of the reasons why he finally got on the ballot, because he carried on that. He was a great fan of songwriters, many of whom are in the Hall of Fame. And that was one of the reasons why he's being considered and has strong consideration to be inducted.
The first time I saw him, he was a backup singer for David Bowie during the Young Americans tour. And we didn't know who he was. And we were like, that guy's really fat. You know what I mean? I can't believe how big he is.
Please.
But he's a Philly guy, right, Earl?
I believe so. And another thing about Bowie kind of greased the wheels to help him get his record deal.
Financially?
Yeah, well.
Bacon grease?
Yeah.
Chris.
Last one, Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan needs to go in first round. Take care of it this year. Put Wu-Tang in.
I'm from New York. I am a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. But
Oh, no.
I don't believe they belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's A, too many members. B, after Wu-Tang Forever and that double album, it really started shitting the bed. And we're not talking about the solo projects, of which there were many, and many I love. But the Wu-Tang Clan is not getting a vote.
But it launched all of those careers. All of the solo projects that you're talking about happens because of Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, but those two albums. I mean, come on.
And changed hip-hop.
Changed it.
It changed hip-hop. Earl?
Many discussions about Wu-Tang Clan, and the thing that finally got him tipped over was that their influence on alternative music. Alternative bands loved Wu-Tang Clan, and they reached a bigger and wider audience, and that's why they're on this ballot this year.
All right,
that's everybody.
That's everybody, and I think if you take a look at what my votes were, it was pretty much yes across the board, with a couple exceptions of knowing for an absolute fact that some of these folks, they're going to be happy to push on to the next round, especially considering some of the people they've already done that to.
Of course, Gail. And look, I'm going to point out, I'm not trying to have any beef or point anything out here, but New Edition, it's going to be 30 years from now by the time New Edition gets in. For them to even throw that on there is totally ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think you're also looking at someone like Pink in the same
Forgot about Pink.
And again, Pop Star Hall of Fame, that's she's going in first round, but I just don't see it happening for look, I want to bring up a pop star who goes first round in my heart. Britney Spears. I don't know if you've been on top of her Instagram account. Sometimes she goes away for a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes she comes back.
Yeah.
It's like a situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has stayed so consistent with her craziness since the pandemic. Britney, if you look at her posts from just the last few days, it's her descent into madness. We're going a solid 6 years of just on the social media aspect. No different. That's a wild run that's been going on.
Same dance.
Very little makeup remover. You know what I mean? It's always yesterday's makeup. It's always a little unhinged. Is it erotic? Sure, yeah, crazy girls are erotic. But I was thinking about it and I go, wow, this has been since 2020 that we have been going, hey, she put up another video. It's a little nuts this time.
Also, she does not feel like she needs a new bikini. Some of those bikinis I've seen 3-4 years ago.
Yes. Yeah. She has a very extensive wardrobe, and I feel like she keeps it all. She's kind of like her own little Barbie doll. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she enjoys playing dress up with herself, and then she sets up her camera and plays. And it's pretty weird.
And she's always by herself. It seems like there's no one, like, there's no social media person here, folks. I mean, it's just her setting up her tripod.
If we're to believe that she's editing her own work, which I feel like at this point, at first we were like, who's editing these videos? You know what I mean? Like, who's setting this stuff up for her? Who's doing this? And I feel like now, 6 years in, we have to understand. I think she is doing it alone.
Also, she keeps that British accent.
She does, and she has a lot. She has a lot of fun with it. It's not consistent. She'll dip in and out of it as she's doing it, but man, she stays in it. Like, she has fun.
Well, people believe that, and I've seen doctors even say this online, that she's disconnected from herself.
Yeah.
So this thing is over, and the little dances that she does is what she used to do when she was younger,
right,
to get, attention from studio heads or whatever.
Right. She also, maybe like a week or so ago, posted, because it's usually like her dances, sometimes it'll be like a scantily clad or almost no clothes with just like an emoji over
her titty popped out.
But she did something a week ago where she just posted a picture of like old school Brad Pitt when he had like the Legends of the Fall hair, and just wrote, "What's cooking?" And I was just like, yeah, we are still kind of lusting over 90s Brad Pitt. Like, I kind of appreciated the post of just like, remember when Brad Pitt had that gorgeous long hair? And I was like, yeah, I do remember that, Brittany. Like
good memory, Britt.
She's like a bizarre like princess in a tower. She's also just like relatable in a pop culture way. Like, she's just a girl is what she is.
Is she in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
That's what I was curious about. Earl, do you know if she was ever nominated?
Has never been nominated. No.
Never even nominated. See,
Insane.
now here's what's weird. Putting a Pink up, which again, I feel like we're picking on Pink, and I don't mean to, but I'm going to have to use it. But if you're going to put a Pink up, don't you think it's a little strange that you haven't put up Britney?
No Britney, no Pink.
No Pink. Then that doesn't make any sense.
And really no boy bands. I mean, she was bigger than the boy bands.
She was.
And she's the one that made Justin a star by dating him.
Yes. Really, I mean, I don't want to blame her for it, but it was her doing. Like, we wouldn't have a successful Justin Timberlake career if it hadn't been that she had given him the bump by dating him.
All right, different universe. She dates Joey Fatone. How big does he get?
Oh, my God. He'd be hosting SNL every other week.
Not
Thank
only. He wouldn't have blown it like JT did. Because JT's a booze brain, cheating on them wives of his, and just making bad
He only
movies.
had one wife.
Oh, all right, just cheating on the one wife, and then people like shitting all over him. That one would have done it.
I wish.
Plus, his little dick showed up in that.
Oh yeah, that tiny dick controversy when he was wearing that harness. Which normally, it's so funny because I've seen this before, where men either have to use it for like climbing purposes or ridiculous stunt work on like a movie. And what's strange about it is it normally makes the junk bigger because it pushes all the fabric, and he had a situation where everyone squinted and went, it can't possibly be that small. It can't possibly, right?
And yet that was as big as it was going to get in the harness. That was him at his major.
That was the best possible presentation for him. Not a good showing.
It's a skinny chode. It's a scode.
That's not a word, is it?
No, I just made it up.
Scode. At that point, I think we're just calling that's micro penis. If it's a scode,
Or an MP, sure.
If it's as skinny as it is short, like that's not good.
That's never really come up before, but yeah, that's a SCOTE.
That's a SCOTE.
Chris, get to Reddit as fast as you can and get credit for the SCOTE.
SCOTE bros rise up.
Explain, Chris, your Instagram video that you put up today.
All right, so today on Instagram, so I took so in New York City, as the snow gets less and less, the snow that's left gets dirtier and dirtier from, being in New York City. And I found the biggest last fucking chunk of dirty old snow right before the goddamn blizzard. We were so close. So close to having no dirty snow anymore.
It was so close. And here, I don't know as much as it was in the city versus just outside the city, but the cruel joke of waking up 6, 7 a.m. this morning to see the snow falling, to get calls that school will be delayed. And I'm like, what is happening? All the while, we're also getting alerts, just so you know, we're looking at a pretty heavy snow Monday and Tuesday. What? We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this.
It has to stop.
I mean, we're probably only 5 or 6 weeks away from it can't snow anymore.
It has to stop eventually, right?
Yeah.
Scientifically, science has proven that it can't continue snowing like this, right?
All right, Gary tweeted to us, why does Earl not want to say his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame votes? Eddie Trunk fills out his ballot live on the radio.
Look, when I got this privilege, which is what it was and is, I was told not to keep it secret, to keep it on the DL.
So you're following policy rules.
I'm following policy.
Yeah.
Eddie, who's had long-standing beefs with the Hall of Fame and who goes in and who goes out, has chosen a different path.
That's interesting.
I see. Mm-hmm. Now, and does anybody from the bonfire get a vote?
No one from the bonfire gets a vote.
Anyone from Sam's show?
Oh, God, no. No way.
All right. Well, you and Eddie Trunk.
Right. Are the two that... From
Earl, who owns... which tribe owns the Hard Rock?
The Seminole Tribe of Florida.
Oh.
That's so interesting because, this was kind of a reparations thing with the casinos. And you think that the Seminole Tribe of Florida would just get Florida.
Yeah,
and yet the Hard Rock is national and really international. Earl, do you think black people should get the same kind of reparations? Like this way that we don't have to go in pocket, we can say you have this business.
I've gone back and forth on reparations. I think now we need reparations. I think it's the only solution right at this point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, would this be an easier pass just to give you guys a business?
Give a bit.
Yeah.
That's been talked about, like giving it a business and having and having it totally tax-free.
Right. And what business would you pick for black people?
And
say, okay, nobody else can be in that business but black people.
Wow, that's a tough one. I would probably say definitely something food related, because that's something universal.
Food related. Like an IHOP or... Look, why not just this? Just say we want the tech industry for ourselves. We want cloud computing, we want AI, and we want all social media. I think would be a lot of money for black people.
And I feel like you went risky with just food businesses.
That's
a huge risk. But I'll tell you
one that tiny.
You got to think big, Earl. You guys get all the NFL teams, okay? Ownership of every single NFL team.
They don't even have one. That's the problem.
They need all. And that's part of the reparations package that my client is looking to negotiate about.
Here's the thing. The celebrations are going to get even bigger and take up more time, though. You know what I mean? It'll be like... and then the halftime shows are really going to...
They're going to be good.
Yeah. That's actually interesting. I mean, I would say the NFL is too big, but to take like a hockey or chess, where they would just own chess, and
chess
anybody,
would be fun.
Yeah.
Hockey would be great. You know, let's make hockey black again, or at least black for the first time.
I mean,
Right.
I mean, the obvious one would be like the NBA or the WNBA or even both.
I don't like how you said the obvious one. It makes me uncomfortable,
I
but
know.
sure, we could discuss
Stereotyping.
I mean,
that.
that,
What I'm saying is go outside your reach. That's where you're just like, take hockey from white people. It's
I
kinda cool.
got an idea here, and I think there's a lot of money in cuck porn. You know what I mean? Because a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of those
yeah.
bulls are working, and yet I think the women make more money than the bull.
They
You
do,
might
dude.
even want to look at the chair industry because they go hand in hand.
Big
single
chair.
chairs.
Yeah.
They could have single chairs.
Yeah. Oh no, this does not come as a set. You have to buy these individually. That's how they're meant to be used.
What about the airlines? Just take over all the airline industry.
Like
That's
Soul
huge.
Plane.
Like a little bit.
or international women's soccer.
It's the international is where I get confused a little bit. And why
Not
did
a
you
lot
say
of money
women's?
in
But
that. It's
okay.
every 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're
That's a
going
tax
so
write-off.
low, and you know what I mean. Like, I'm worried if you're going to speak up as my client, like you might want to throw it my way first because I feel.
I just try to give him cloud computing. Take it all away from Larry Ellison.
yeah, seriously,
that's
we'll take
reality.
it, Earl. God
The
damn.
planet is a cloud computer.
Wow. Sports gambling, Chris. They get sports gambling.
Love
Holy
this.
shit, Black fan.
Earl, say yes. We can just call it fan.
Oh.
We can still
Or
call
instead
it
of DraftKings, Black King.
Hey,
that. You can change because that's cool.
Butch has a problem with Chris Stanley, and I'm just going to read it out.
Why?
Okay.
Stanman doesn't think metal is rock and roll. Please tell me this is a bad bid attempt. Iron Maiden absolutely should be in. They meet all the criteria and more.
It's not a bit. I don't think Iron Maiden and their fucking goofy ass ghoul skeleton monster vampire
Eddie.
fucking belong.
It's just Eddie. Yeah.
But he's like a monster of some sort. If he's not a skeleton, then a fuck zombie.
But
whatever he
you're
may be.
you're focusing on the logo rather than the music, and these guys have been as consistent as you can be in this business.
They've been consistently mediocre, and that's my issue.
Chris, if you want to say that they don't deserve to be in the Logo Hall of Fame, we'll all listen to you and we'll listen to your points. But
I also
taking,
disagree. It's a great logo. Everybody knows it.
But you're putting so much emphasis on the logo that I'm starting to think it's the only thing you know about the band.
I
Look.
can't name one song.
If you're really going for rock and roll, then that's only the Black Crowes. They're playing the traditional rock and roll.
Yeah.
Nobody else is. U2 is not traditional rock and roll.
And Broasis also.
That's pop. That's pop. That's Brit
Okay.
pop. And I don't have
All
a
right,
problem
fair.
with it. I'm a big fan. Look, if I had a band, I would have said from the beginning, guys, if we want this band to be fun, we need to appeal to women. I don't want to go out on stage and look out and see 20,000 dudes. That's not why I learned how to play guitar.
Yes.
It's a mistake. I don't care how good the songs are. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
I had that experience at a Primus show once. My buddy's like, I have an extra ticket to Primus, and it was black T-shirt, dude.
Yeah, a lot of shows are that. A lot of
Yeah.
shows are dudes.
Yeah.
When I saw In Excess at Radio City in high school, it was 70-30 women to men. It was a
I
lot of
believe
women.
it.
Of course.
Because he was beautiful.
Fish in a barrel
Beautiful
roll.
and charismatic. But it's always been funny to me. Like, guys will make fun of, I don't know, Bon Jovi or Bryan Adams or anybody, Rick Springfield.
Right.
And I'm like, wouldn't you rather be those dudes in your fantasy? Forget the fucking music. Just the fantasy of dancing. I mean, the fact that we have bands that dance around in front of guys and they're guys.
Yes. It's bizarre. And I've literally seen straight men like clown on Harry Styles. Take a
Yes.
look at what his concerts look like. The audience is literally just women on their backs with their legs spread. Please, God. Please,
Right.
Harry. Over here. Like, he's got it figured out.
And metal bands, you know what they do after a show? They just smoke. They just sit there and
Yes.
smoke, you know.
Smoke and drink.
You want to meet your fans? Fuck no. I don't want to meet my fans.
Dear God.
I'm in a metal band, goddamn.
I would hate that. Serena, who's somebody that you like? We got to get the Z in here.
Yes.
From this list or just in general?
Yeah, do this
Yeah.
list first and then
All right.
do it for yourself.
All right. So from a Gen Z perspective, I'm thinking like whose careers have spanned over generations.
Good.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking I would definitely pick Oasis first round.
Mm-hmm.
I would do Joy Division.
Love that.
I would do Billy Idol, Melissa Etheridge, and I think I would do Mariah Carey as well. Oh,
I
and
feel like-
Wu-Tang Clan. Those would be my 6.
Make girl vote that way.
Yeah.
'Cause I'd be
those are
happy
all,
with that
And I
vote.
think those are all very solid opinions. Even if you think other people deserve to be in it, those are first round picks for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would go with.
Well, we haven't talked Big Brother in a while, so let's bring in a guy who knows Big Brother, Adam Pock. Adam.
Adam!
Hi, Adam.
Hello. I wish I was calling on happier times, but
Sure.
I'm sitting
It's not
here
me day.
fuming at Mr. Stanley for
Why?
making fun of the greatest heavy metal band of all friggin' time, Iron Maiden.
Name
Okay?
5 songs, okay? No one can because no one knows what because it all sounds the same. It's the goddamn band, it's the same thing.
Lost for words. Stanley, listen. You go
name
to your
one,
one or
dude.
two Fish shows in your friggin' life, and you think you're a Fish fan.
True.
First of all, whoa,
That's
whoa.
true.
They
I'm in
sell
the
out
top
everywhere they
1%.
go. Yeah, right. Okay, fine, whatever. Name 5 Fish albums, Mr. Stanley.
Oh my God, Hoist bouncing around.
You
the
got
room.
me so livid. So, Iron
because
Maiden
I'm
deserves
smart.
to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. End of story. Stanley, put on an album, okay? Actually listen to them. They are so technical. They are so brilliant musicians. They've been doing it for 50 years. I just got the picture book of the 50th anniversary. They have a movie coming out in theaters. Listen, Stanley, they belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Change your tune or else.
But here's the thing, Chris.
Yeah.
And I think Earl would agree as a voter. You don't have to say, oh, this is a band I grew up listening to. But if you look at a band who's been around that long and have always drawn, they've never been like in style, but they've never been out of style. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're
No,
consistent.
yeah.
They've never
Very.
been like the biggest band in the world, but do the people that love them love them?
Yes.
And that should be
Selling
enough
out
for
arenas
the.
and stadiums worldwide. They have an
Yeah.
Edfest this year going on in England where it's nothing but Iron Maiden. All right?
Dude, what are we doing, Chris? What are we doing? Why are we fighting
They
this?
should cancel the fucking festival because of low ticket
All right,
sales.
now
Ain't
you're
no one
just trying to
going
troll. Now you're trying to troll.
I'm not trying to troll.
Don't
Iron
feed the
Maiden's
trolls,
not a good
Adam.
band.
Julie Chen, this is the big one. I'm coming.
Oh, jeez.
No.
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 No, vote him back in.
Please.
All right, Adam, love you, buddy. Talk to you
Bye,
later.
Adam.
Love you
So
guys.
good to
Have-
hear from
have a great
you.
day.
Love you, Adam, despite
You're
the threat
really
against me.
pissing people off.
Yeah, that's a friend, by the way. That's a friend.
Yes, of course.
Well, you're not treating one like a friend, and you're
Friends
telling
can
him
have
to
different
name
likes.
songs of a band he loves.
And he was able to name one.
Really, out of this whole thing, I would like to look at just how big Phil Collins was in the 80s, and it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. The guy's dressed like he's here to do the accounting for the gate at every show. And just massive. Do we have Chris in Albany? Chris.
Hey, this is Chad from Albany.
Chad.
Hi,
Two
Chad.
things. Yeah, I love to chop it up. Two things. Devo and Weird Al continue to be snubbed, but what I wanted to say is you poo-pooed on the Joy Division and New Order twosome going in, but Parliament and Funkadelic are both in as one band, and they are actually two bands instead of the other two, which was one that became into another.
And they're also like the Wu-Tang of their time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
Sure.
they never really broke up or moved into the next thing. It was just hard to see what they were doing.
They were fluid.
It made, I guess, sense if you were on drugs. and in the band, but to everybody else. So, and you were also against Wu-Tang too, Chris, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, because look, there was this by the double album, which I believe was the second album. It was like a third of that was a good album. I mean, I'm talking about obviously just the collective's albums.
I feel
And
like you
everything
should
else
be
after that.
ashamed as a New
Why?
Yorker to
Agree.
give that point to say that the Wu-Tang should not go in. You should be ashamed as a New Yorker.
I'm a born and bred New Yorker, and I'm saying what other New Yorkers think but are afraid
No.
to say.
They don't
Nobody
think
thinks
that.
They
Nobody
love-
thinks
Wu-Tang is loved out of proportion in New York.
that. Yes.
You know what I mean?
In a sick way. Beloved in New York
They're-
because it's
I'll say this.
pride.
They are the Billy Joel of hip-hop in New York.
Yes. You don't even mess with that concept.
Here's the point. New Yorkers love a buttered roll. I don't see the buttered roll in the fucking bread Hall of Fame.
First of all, that doesn't make sense. Second,
No.
you're talking about New Jersey more than New York. The butter roll is considered Jersey first.
I didn't realize that.
Barry in Alberta wants to back Chris Stanley up.
Finally, Canada.
Chris Stanley's just talking out of his ass.
Why? How?
Iron Maiden,
I talk out of my
Iron
mouth.
Maiden's one of the it doesn't sound like it there, Chris. Iron Maiden's one of the quintessential best heavy metal bands of all time.
Okay.
They're just living off of some weird past glory most people can't even remember. They don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Hold on. What you're talking
they
about,
are still
that's also the
selling
Rolling
out,
Stones.
stadiums and arenas and big venues. So
Huge places.
you
Chris.
got no dog in the fight there, Chris.
I have many dogs in this fight, and the dogs are barking.
You probably are into like Harry Styles and shit like that.
Right.
Right. You're one of the girls with her legs spread.
I love strawberry
Your
stuff.
ass cheeks spread open.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, now that Barry's called, you've made this an international problem. Okay, we're getting calls from Alberta. And I just want to say this. I love so much when we get Canadian callers. The joy when I hear a Canadian accent. And
It's
I
a
can't
great
explain
accent.
it. It's like one of my favorite things of this job is getting Canadian callers and hearing them speak. It makes
Yeah.
me so happy.
And probably not enough Canadian bands in the Hall of Fame. It always takes them a little longer.
I'll tell you this. When you think about Canada and the talent level that has come out of there, it's hard to even say who is the greatest because there are so many good Canadian artists, bands, but also solo artists, pop stars. It's kind of an unbelievable talent pool that they have.
Here's the weird thing. Most of the time when a Canadian band gets big, there is pushback. You know what I mean? There's pushback against them in some ways.
Right.
I've always known. Like Rush has always had a blowback against them the entire time. Nickelback, always a blowback against them. Even if you look at Bare Naked Ladies, Bachman Turner Overdrive, The Guess Who.
Right.
I'm not even sure, other than Rush, which took a long time, any of those bands got in. Triumph, another thing, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sum 41 always takes
Sure.
some
I
shit.
owned
Don't
their
forget.
first two albums.
Is Alanis Morissette in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
You know, it's funny you said Alanis because I thought of Alanis when I was talking about it, but it's almost as though they have a stronger solo artist pool than they even do like whole band pool.
Right.
Because the amount of solo artists that are just unreal Canadians. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, it started with Neil Young, Joni Mitchell. Earl, is Bryan Adams in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
He is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's insane. Because, again, talking about a guy who's had a ton of hits.
Is Shania Twain in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Never nominated.
Never nominated. Again, I'm looking at some of the pop stars that have been nominated, and now I'm just like, you're going to put this person in over Shania? It's kind of crazy. But
Is Arcade Fire in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Earl?
Not in
No,
the Hall
and
of Fame. I believe never
should be.
nominated either.
Figures.
Life-changing band. Life-changing.
I'm going to say it. I think It took Trump to make us realize it, but we kind of treat Canada like shit.
We treat them like
We do.
dog shit.
It's
we
awful.
really do. And it's such a cool look. It just feels like a cool country to me, and it feels like you're among great artists. You got a cool government. You got the cool maple leaf. You got a great song, as in your national anthem.
All right, Earl, I'm going to ask you this one and answer fucking carefully.
Yeah,
Okay?
very much.
The Hip, the Tragically Hip, are they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, they are not. It
Wow.
is.
That's the disrespect for Canadians is unreal. And Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, take a look at yourself, because nobody said it was called the American Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's a good
Is
point.
it?
Iron Maiden's British.
Let's not go back to Iron Maiden. And here's the other thing, Chris.
Why are you trying
When
to make-
people call with an opinion, I know that you want to rebut them, but let them finish their rebuttal. We can't have the crosstalk. You're yelling at them while they're yelling at you. Just take a breath, let them finish, and then yell at them.
Heard loud and clear.
April Wine, Chilliwack, nothing, Earl?
Nothing, Ron. I'm nothing.
I'm embarrassed right now.
If I were Trudeau, I'd get him and that girlfriend of his, Katy Perry, and open up a competing Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You know, he's not
In
the prime
Canada.
minister anymore, right?
Yeah, but he's got connections.
Dave in New Jersey. Dave.
Hey guys, love the show. Wanted to
Thanks.
just follow up with a point that Ron made about how big Phil Collins was in the '80s. I'm pretty sure that Phil Collins played Wembley Live Aid first, and then flew over on the Concorde, and then played
Yes.
Philly. I think he was the only artist.
Oh, that's
To
cool.
do
He
that.
was the only artist to do that. Unfortunately, he played drums for Led Zeppelin and fucked up their entire set. And I don't even believe that Led Zeppelin has approved any of that video or audio going out. I mean, you can find bootleg thing. But they were so fucking horrified, as they said, this, well, I don't want to even say the names that they call them. There's no longer politically correct. But their people have been so, because I think that was the last time Led Zeppelin attempted to play together, and they go, we can't play with anybody but Bonham. Look what this, I'll say what they called him, a fucktard, did to us. And I feel bad saying that. I just want, I'm giving the quote. Bernie in Boston.
Going with Little Feat. They've been around for a long, long time. You know, Lowell George, and just waiting for Columbus alone, live with
One of the greatest live albums of all time. And also, I believe the Little Feat albums were recorded in Western Canada. So it
Oh,
kind of
really?
ties in
Yeah.
that Canadian thing. But yeah, I would put Little Feat. And let's go over to Ron in Ohio.
Hey, Ron, how are you?
Yeah.
Hey, I was just kind of popped into my head as someone who grew up in Cleveland, been to New York many times. My daughter lives there. I don't think you should be able to vote in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if you've never actually been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It was interesting when Earl said that, because they offered to pay for his flight, pay for his hotel to go to that. But for whatever reason, Earl hasn't been. I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I have to tell you, if they sold burgers, it would be a Hard Rock. I think the biggest mistake that they made is not selling cheeseburgers. And for Serena, having some nice mixed cocktails.
Yes, exactly.
Love those.
Earl, it's very weird that you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because you fight with everybody's list. You hate list. And this thing is just a list every year.
Yeah, I mean, I just decided, you got to do something about it. And, at least if I'm going to be very vocal about one of these things, get involved. Make your case and be
But
part
you
of the
haven't
process.
made it any better. It's the same problems that are there. I mean, are you happy with the acts that don't go in? No, you're not. So what difference are you really making, Earl?
I mean, I look at it as, you know what? It's one battle at a time. It's one. You got to do one
after another.
One battle after another. We all saw the movie. But maybe you're too old for this. Maybe we should get somebody else from Facts and Talk. How about a Travis?
What would you think of that?
Hell will freeze over before Travis becomes a voting member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Why? He's a longtime radio guy.
Long-time radio guy, but he really set me off with some of his opinions today. I heard some of them, and they didn't go over well with me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
All right.
Like he said, you know, he made
when it bends, it's funnier.
You know, but you know,
I wish I had a producer in there with you. Stanley, I always thought that you should be at the Football Hall of Fame. I think you could work to get Eli in.
I can get Eli in. I'll work to get Bill in too. I'll put Eli and Bill in the same goddamn class. I'm up there together. And you know what? Kraft ain't never getting in if I got that vote. I got to start writing, like, I don't know, football articles or however the hell you get in, because I'm a guy that deserves a vote. I have an opinion and I'm informed.
Don't you feel like in your own way you are a football journalist with Lockdown?
I think so.
Isn't that journalism?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Ezra wants to back you up. He dropped.
Damn, Ezra.
He said, I'll just let you know what he said. He said, you don't know shit about Woo.
That's true.
I know plenty about Woo, and my points are correct. Enter the 36 Chambers, their first album was as close to a perfect album as you can get.
Oh,
Wu-Tang
and so that
Forever,
means don't be
Wu-Tang
in the Rock
Forever,
and Roll Hall of Fame. That's
double
weird.
album, the success went to their head. I'm sorry, Wu-Tang, and all your members.
I don't know. I don't think their lifestyle changed at all, so I don't know how the success could have went to their head.
The hubris of busting out a double album.
What?
When it was
something that artists have done time and time again.
There was one single off of it, man. It wasn't fucking. It wasn't great.
You know he's losing his argument when he busts out a ma.
I'm not losing my argument. I would defy anyone to put Wu-Tang Forever again, their second collective album.
You trolled
anywhere
the
in the top
Iron Maiden
500.
fans, and now you're trolling the Wu-Tang Clan.
I'm not. I like Wu-Tang Clan, but they don't belong in the hall.
You believe you know the Woo. Tell me what song this is. Katie tried. I was halfway crucified. I was on the other side of no tomorrow.
Cream. Cash rules everything around me.
You walked in and my life began again. Just when I'd spent the last plaster I could borrow.
Protect your neck.
That's Dr. Woo. By Steely Dan.
Oh my God, Chris!
You don't know the Woo.
You don't know Woo.
I've been exposed yet again.
Here's Jeff in California. He's a big Chris fan and wants to help
Pepper
out
Hicks
a little bit.
is fucking crazy, and Clutch, the greatest American rock band nobody knows about, should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Sounds like they're not so clutch. Got him.
All right. He writes this to us on the X-Files. Based on Chris Stanley's Iron Maiden comments, we need to start a petition to have him fired. I guarantee you this. If you can get 10 names, we will consider it.
10 names, dude!
Yes! We have to look at it if we've got 10. We have to take a look at it. We have to take a look.
I implore you to
Just
not take a
consider
look.
it.
Please, don't. Let's not get this thing a groundswell here.
Here's Eric. Loving Chris.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey.
I had my sneaking suspicions over the years about Stanley. I was like, I don't think this guy. I think he's one of those weird dudes or people that just doesn't like music. And it came out maybe a couple weeks ago. He talked to the fact that in high school he didn't listen to music at all.
No.
Right.
And then he somehow Then he became a fan of Fish and Warren Zevon, and I think I know what happened there. He likes the idea of Fish and going to shows, and then he probably heard Lawyers, Drugs, and Money and thought this guy's cool and dove in head first. But long story short, I don't think Chris should have any opinion to share with us on what he thinks of any of these acts. I think he's one of these weird freaks who just doesn't like music.
I went over to Chris's house once, and I just found him sitting in a hard chair with his hands on his knees and his feet down to the floor. And I'm like, dude, why don't you put on a tune? And he goes like, what? Why didn't you know it's Lawyers, Guns, and Money and not Lawyers, Drugs, and Money, Chris?
It's Lawyers, Guns, and Money. I know that, okay? And I want to his many points. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know all experiences life begin in high school, and if you don't experience it in high school, then you shouldn't experience it, or you have no idea about it.
That's people, not me. The music that they love best is the music they heard in high school.
I understand that. I was playing Magic the Gathering in high school, okay? I was playing a collectible
I had
card
no
game.
idea.
I'm not trying to sound cool.
Were you listening to like Renaissance Fair music?
No. I like music. Just because I don't like Iron Maiden doesn't mean my ears are broken. It's just, it sounds like the Iron Maiden fans have all been brainwashed by that fucking skeleton.
So Chris actually was in a band in high school, but he played the lute.
Oh my God, lute music. Just lutes and flutes. The Chris Stanley fucking. That's the fucking songs he would send to girls.
Lutes, drugs, and money.
Here's Tyler, California. Tyler.
What's up, Bennington?
Hey.
With Wu-Tang Clan, are you going to count all the solo albums that came right after 36 Chambers as Wu-Tang? Because they're all on each other's
I
albums.
think so.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you. I think they should all be counted.
I disagree. I mean, they're not individually putting in Old Dirty Bastard and Method Man. The collective.
But this is the point, Chris, and this is why I said Wu-Tang belongs. Is not only are they iconic for hip-hop, but they launched all of those careers as solo artists. So the impact there is not only just as Wu-Tang, but the spider web that transpired after.
And you could call that Spider-Man, Spiderweb, Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? It really is drifting in and out of each other's solo stuff. It's a really interesting thing for a band to do.
Yeah, and I believe they were one of the first to ever do that, to get all individual record labels.
We just brought up P-Funk.
You know what? My bad. They were the second to do it at best. So I'm only taking their collective, the original 9 members out.
Nick, Ontario. Nick.
Hey, brother. How are you guys?
Hey.
Listen, the reason why I called, I kind of tuned in like a little bit late. I just heard Chris talking about how he believed Wu-Tang doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, and I just didn't know what the fuck he's smoking to say that. I didn't hear your reasoning behind it, but man, like, are you fucking kidding me? They're like part of like pop culture, huge. Anywhere in the world, you can see somebody with like a fucking W on their shirt, on their T-shirt. I mean,
it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
From movies to TV to fucking video games, like, dude, are you kidding me? I don't even know how they get away with calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It should just be the Music Hall of Fame. You've got so many different genres in there now, and I think that's what kind of fucks people up. The fact that they refer to it as a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, even RZA's sampling, the sampling he did in his mixing was like fucking
unbelievable.
It was like genius.
Truly.
So,
it's like next level.
Chris?
I'm judging them on their albums. I've already said the first debut album was fantastic. And then they went into the gutter, and no one's brave enough to say this, by the way. Everyone acts like Wu-Tang Forever, which is a great album title, is a great album, but it is not. It is a bad double album, by the way. So for those reasons, everything else after terrible.
You're repeating yourself. Now, I'm going to bring this up to you, Gail. Moby, once again, after all these years, probably 20-some years, maybe even 25 years, says it's hard for him to make sense of his past relationship with Natalie Portman because she says it never happened. Now, at the time, she was 18, he was 33.
Oh, okay. So is he okay? Is she saying
No.
it never happened and maybe it didn't happen and Moby's unwell?
I don't think that. I think it did happen, but she does 18 mistakes, like most of us.
Right.
Wouldn't want to have to live and die on the hill of the decisions that we made when we were 18.
Right.
Now, also in her defense, it got a little weak after that Play album. You know what I mean? I mean, you went to a hotel and you're like, I'm trying to love this.
Yeah.
You know? But
There were
Play was the album.
Yeah, I mean, there were some good tracks that transpired afterwards, but Play was a complete and perfect album, an unskippable album. Not one track
Press
would you
play.
skip. Yes,
Yeah.
play and then you're done.
Just press play, as we say. But why do you think he's still bringing this up? Like, why won't she say that we had a short affair? What's wrong with her? And now, of course, he's in his 50s. And it's really, I mean, from my point of view, I would just say, okay, you know what I mean?
Right.
I never would have brought up that I was with somebody until they brought it up.
Also, it's the way you phrased, or that, you know, you're quoting his phrasing of hard for me to make sense of it, makes me feel like he's struggling with something mentally. I mean, either he is crazy or he's saying, I'm being gaslit because I know this happened and it's hard for me to wrap my head around. How do I approach this in telling what I say is true?
I think one of his big problems is being a vegan. I think if he had some steaks and some burgers, he'd be like, oh, okay. The
Yeah.
young lady doesn't want to talk about what happened. You know what I mean? I was just some fucking fling for her, and she doesn't want to bring it up. She's got kids now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's definitely a lack of protein, probably a lack of iron in his diet. It's going to really affect your mental clarity and energy.
Can't you get that from soy, though? Shouldn't there be enough, like, just double down on the soy for a while?
Yeah, sure, but you don't want to. There's like reasons that you don't want to overdo soy too. So
Very
yeah,
processed.
you have to have a very bean heavy diet. I'll give you that. If you're gonna be
Right.
vegan,
Okay.
you better be eating like 50% bean.
I didn't even realize that. Now, here's the thing, though. When you're the guy, a woman may not want to make a big deal that she was with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could see that you wanted to say, this beautiful fucking woman, I had an affair with her. But if you're a guy, and Moby at best looks like a regular guy,
Yeah.
and not even that regular, like he's a little stranger looking than regular.
You're right. Sure.
Maybe she
I'll give
just
you that.
doesn't want to admit to it. Maybe she was caught up in a fucking, you know, the East Side song or whatever. She's just
Yeah.
like, I fucking love that dude. I think I'm going to hang out with this guy.
And by the way, Natalie Portman, you don't need to
I know.
come clean if you don't want to. But just know from my perspective, even though he is a peculiar looking dude, I understand it. And I don't want you to feel shame
Sure.
for anything you did during your young adulthood.
Yeah, a lot of women are attracted to artists of any kind.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But if she was with some fucking artist who was like still living in the same loft and he was walking around with paint all over his fucking pants and he's almost
Right.
60, you know what I mean? You might be a little embarrassed about it.
Right. Feels silly now in retrospect. And you're right. Being an artist, you know, it
I feel
has that
like,
attraction.
yeah, I feel like if a man is writing a book of his life, he really probably shouldn't bring up any of the women, even if he was married to them. He could have said, I was married for a while, you know?
Don't worry about
But
that.
when you start to get specific,
Right.
something was going wrong between us. I wouldn't fucking say that to a friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wouldn't sit around with a friend saying, what's wrong? Why did she stop liking me?
Yeah, that's true. It's a little intimate.
All right, why don't we break here, kids? We can't fix everything. We tried to fix the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We tried to fix Moby. We tried to fix Britney Spears. And we failed to make sense of any of it. Bennington.
Faction Talk 103, it's the Bennington Show! Talk 103, it's the Bennington Show.
Bennington is back. I almost text you, Ron, and Chris in the middle of the night about something that I was like, this is so silly and weird that I'm like, I don't want to wake anybody up about this. But I'm late night scrolling on social media, and I follow People Magazine, and their posts. And they have this post that they put up probably around like maybe 11:30, close to midnight last night. And the big headline is McDonald's rolls out its biggest burger in the U.S. with a picture of a giant cheeseburger, a giant McDonald's cheeseburger. And then underneath, like in the actual image itself, it says, Reiner and his son Nick previously discussed how they healed their relationship after working on a very personal film together.
Oh, no. No.
Makes zero sense. I'm so confused. It's like late at night, and I actually have to read it 5 times. I'm thinking like, are they saying that this burger is a tribute to Reiner and his family? Like, I'm so confused, like why this would be. Until I realized it's like somehow they got the text on the picture wrong and it was for a different thing. This stayed up for 30 minutes with the comment section going crazy. Dear God, is anyone awake from People Magazine? Delete this now. Please, God, delete this now. It stayed up for 30 minutes. I sent you guys the screenshot of it. It's so uncomfortable, and I can't believe how long that was up there.
Oh, God.
There it is. The biggest
Here's
burger
the
we
thing.
have.
I mean, the one thing about a McDonald's burger that you don't want is more. And you also don't want it mixed up with murderous mental illness.
No.
Which, by the way, I don't know whether you guys saw this, but Nick put in as not guilty, which is, well, it's a long shot. I'll be honest, Nick.
And I'm not a legal expert. Is that just a straight up not guilty different than a regular like insanity plea? Like he's just straight up not guilty.
Well, I think that you can't do insanity right off the bat. I think you have to not guilty it.
You got to throw out
and
the
then
not
say, "Here's the reason why I'm not guilty." Yeah,
Got it.
I think he's going to be just sent someplace. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
probably even his brothers and sisters want that.
Yeah.
But not a good thing.
Oh God.
At all. I also have to bring up the Tourette's guy at the BAFTAs one more time.
Yeah.
He put out a statement yesterday that said he's completely sorry that people don't understand what his disease is, and that it goes if you have no understanding of this disease. But I really think like. We're always in that thing that the disabled, for whatever reason, are our number one priority. But now we've learned that being thought of as prejudiced is even bigger than what you have. You know what I mean? Like the fact that more people weren't on the side of Tourette's is hysterical to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because let's face it, I don't have a dog in the fight.
Right.
And I turned Earl around in 5 minutes.
You did.
But
You did.
the rest of America is anti-Tourette's guy.
This was another thing that I read today, is that there were claims that among other things that the BBC were able to actually cut out and censor during the live airing of this, that they said that he had yelled out, I think perhaps the other F word, or F slur as some people say, at Alan Cumming, yet they bleeped that out. They were able to take that out, but then let the other one fly. I didn't realize that he had been calling Alan Cumming coming the other F word during the performance as well.
Well, the guy can't come to the Oscars.
No.
There's no doubt about that. He can't show up.
The other thing this guy said, and I like this, adding on a little conspiracy onto the top of this whole story, is he said, I found it very interesting that they seated me next to a floor mic that was for the audience, and they know that I have Tourette's, and I was seated right near a floor mic.
No responsibility. You didn't think I'll get up and walk away from the floor mic? You know what I mean? Maybe watch from behind a fucking camera somewhere. How about you just own up to one thing? Okay, dude? You may or may not have Tourette's.
This dude's just a mad dog, man. I mean, this whole and this movie is also a sham.
I believe once Eric Cartman actually faked Tourette's, and that was something that he did, realizing that it allowed him to say bad words publicly and call people slurs.
Can I tell you something? This is almost giving me Tourette's. So, Gail, your mom has been on a kick of bringing back M&Ms that have, like, I don't know, cake batter in them. One is meringue, lemon meringue pie. It's just odd tasting M&Ms. So I made the statement, this is not an M&M. And she goes, yeah, it's an M&M. I go, it isn't because it doesn't have chocolate in it. An M&M is chocolate inside the shell.
Right.
The shell is not the important part of a fucking M&M. The chocolate is. The chocolate, and when you put a peanut in it, you don't still call it an M&M. You call it an M&M peanut.
Right.
The shell is fucking casing. It's probably tasteless. Doesn't matter what color it is. Stop saying all these stupid things are M&Ms now.
I think this is really interesting because would I say that it is a candy by Mars Incorporated? Sure, but you're right. An M&M is that combination of candy shell and chocolate.
Thank you for agreeing. I noticed Chris didn't. So
looks like
Daddy has a good girl and not a good boy.
I'm a very good boy, 100%. Look,
too late. I want to be on the team. He already has a best friend, and it's me.
I'm going to make a point right now. Human beings, we're not our clothes. We're the meat. And just like the candy shell isn't the actual M&M. That's the perfect analogy.
You don't have to go that far. It doesn't have to. First of all, we're not clothes. It would be skin would be the thing.
That's it.
But if you put something else underneath that skin, are we still human beings? Or are we human doings? That's the big question. Serena, what was your high school band or musical artist?
My favorite in high school?
Yeah.
Blink-182.
Yeah.
Oh,
even though they
love
weren't your
that.
time.
Yeah.
Well, they got back together when I was in high school, I think. I saw them twice.
Reunion.
Yeah, big fan. I also had like a crush on a boy that really liked them, so I think that's kind of what influenced it. Yeah.
That's what happened with Chris with Fish. He had a crush on
Craig.
a boy who liked fish.
He has a
Craig.
crush on every boy.
That's his name.
Craigie, bro.
Just some boys. Gail, thank you for agreeing with me.
You're welcome.
I agree.
And I'm so glad that I was there for you. I was there for you first, and I was there for you in a way that made sense.
How about this, Serena? Did you have a act that was in time, somebody you should have been paying attention to that you liked?
Yeah, I liked all the emo bands. I liked My Chemical Romance. I liked Fall Out Boy. Yeah, Panic at the Disco was one that I saw, I think, a couple times. Yeah, I was just
Aren't they all the same band?
You know what? It was really funny because during that era of those bands, I was in college, and I remember thinking, like, I'm really happy for the youth because pop punk and emo is for the youth. You know, it's, know, it's very much geared towards them. And I remember thinking, they've got a great class of bands, and it makes me hopeful for the future that the kids will be all right. And then I feel like we really dropped off because that was kind of the last era of bands. Even if you didn't love them, you have to admit those were all bands.
What about the Demon Hunters?
Yes, they're
your kid's favorite band.
They're a group. Yes, they're a pop group and K-pop at that.
I was in Five Below looking around for stuff for the kids, and I saw posters for the Demon Hunters. And I don't know. I guess they don't do posters, right?
They don't have any. I mean, I think perhaps they do. They have a playroom that maybe they would like K-pop Demon Hunter posters in.
I already feel like Juju's tired of it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that is the thing with like one, it was a film, not a series. So you've just got that one thing. And then they announce it, and then she finds out that the next one, K-pop Demon Hunters 2, isn't coming out until she's 10 years old. She's pretty freaked out. And she's like, I don't understand. I'm going to be so old by then. I'll be 2 digits by then. I go, you're right. That's a huge amount of time for a child. Just be like, in a couple years, we'll get another one. No child wants to hear that.
Maybe she'll age backwards like Amy Schumer.
Yeah, maybe.
Amy Schumer looks younger now than she did when she did her show.
It's weird because she looks so similar to the gal that I saw the first time ever on stage performing at the Cellar. She looks so much like that version of herself. And that was so long. I mean, like, that was over, I would say, 15 years ago, maybe plus. And she looks the same as that girl. And that's so crazy to me.
Yeah. There's a picture of her just in panties, no top, at the Cellar that was, I guess, her, press picture when she was like early 20s. And she looks so much like that now. She looks like she's in her early 20s again. Now, I was listening to Tom Petty radio the other day and was listening to Buried Treasure, and he's playing some stuff. And he makes the point that when Big Pink came out, the first band album by the band, with you could say, since the songwriter was Canadian, that it could be one of those Canadian bands. That ended the psychedelic era immediately. That everybody who was playing psychedelic music felt embarrassed and stopped and started to go for this Americana thing. And I hadn't heard anybody say that before. I know Clapton, who was with Cream, flew to Woodstock and tried to join the band. And they were like, yeah. And he was saying to Robbie, he was like, I'd really like to be in the band. And Robbie is like, well, we have a guitar player. His name is Robbie Robertson. So, we're not looking for another guitar player.
We also have many members. We're not short on members. We're very solid on talent.
Yeah, we've got 3 lead singers.
I mean, that's unique as hell.
I don't know if anything in history, I would say the sounds that have really of only in a time and place, doo-wop music, you know what I mean? Doo-wop music was like the big music of like the early 60s, and then it stopped. And everyone was embarrassed of it. And I feel the same way about psychedelic music. Right. I just feel like if you hear it, it sounds like 50 years ago plus, 60 years ago. It's probably more like it.
Yeah.
It's like when I hear that stuff, I'm almost embarrassed now.
Yeah. And it is like, you know how you've said that too, where like there's some music that is very much associated with a place. Like if you go to that place, then you'll throw yourself into that culture's music. Like it has that, but the place is time.
The place is time.
And time has passed. Time marches on is what's happening.
Time has come today, we like to say. Time. But like even when I listen to some stuff off of Sgt. Pepper, I'm like, oh God, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is dumb.
I will say this too, like I really loved Sgt. Pepper. Like I loved Sgt. Pepper's when I was a kid, and I feel like I don't think I could listen to that album with the same ear as I did then as a child. Like it's childlike, and I don't even mean it in a negative way. It's just kind of like that's what it is.
Sounds like a cereal commercial. It's very weird because there's another Paul McCartney documentary coming out, Man on the Run. It's in theaters for a short time and then it's coming somewhere, Amazon or wherever the fuck they go. And I'm like, oh my God, do I need to see another fucking Paul McCartney thing? And I know this other 4 movies are coming out. And friends of mine are like, it's unbelievable. I go, I can't imagine that I will learn a single thing that I didn't already learn 40 fucking years ago.
Right.
Like, stop telling your story. It's like fucking talking to a Christian. I'm like, yeah, you told me, dude. I fucking heard all about it.
I heard
like
the good
wine or the water in the wine and all that. I'm very familiar with it.
It is coming out on Prime. It just came out right now. It's out now, actually, on Prime.
Well, I know, but it came out like last week on in the theater and then went completely to Prime. People are like, please tell me you'll see it in the theater. And I go, I'm not going to see it in the theater.
Please.
Yeah. I feel like when I go to a theater now, I feel like I'm paying what concerts should cost.
Good point. Yes, you're right. That would be a concert-like date.
Yeah.
And now that's just a regular movie. And then a concert is a vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. A concert is a vacation. Yeah. A concert is you're going to play on a credit card and then try to pay it off. You know what I mean?
Right.
But today I went out for a nice breakfast at a nice place, right? Not a chain thing or whatever. And there was 3 of us, and the bill came, and I'm paying for the bill, and I'm thinking, great breakfast, really tasty, side of fruit, the whole, But I feel like I would have, if this was the Obama era, the same breakfast would have been the price of what if I took 2 more people out to dinner.
Right.
If 3 of us had dinner.
Yeah.
And, Trump was saying prices are coming down. I'm like, not if you go to restaurants or a grocery store.
No.
I'm always still surprised. Yeah. I'll look down and I'll go, this is $200 of groceries because I can carry it.
It's crazy. Any grocery store is fucking, you're getting killed.
Absolutely insane. And I will tell you this. This is tells you everything. It's just like that on a weekly basis. I look at the grocery bill and I'm shocked. It's like it gets worse and worse. And I feel like I'm being very responsible with my choices.
Right.
Like something that I wasn't so conscious of maybe 8 years ago. I also didn't have a family then, so then you're just like, yeah, give me the good cheese or whatever.
Give me the good.
Yeah, I don't care. Imported sounds great. But it's just insane. Every week I go, we can't go on like this. This is just food.
But, I watched some of this stuff last night, and he was saying how prices are down and inflation. And I'm like, I don't know any person who would fucking fall for that gag.
No.
And you're not even bringing up Epstein stuff. You're just talking about prices.
Right.
I did enjoy seeing the Supreme Court get yelled at in front of everyone. I'd never seen that in my life. But they were just sitting there taking it. And they didn't look powerful.
Not at all.
They looked like people getting in trouble.
Yeah.
They also, I didn't realize this. I feel like I haven't seen the justices out. They shouldn't be allowed to wear the fucking robes out. Like if you're at your job, which is ruling on shit for the country.
They were wearing robes last night?
They were all wearing robes. They stuck out like a sore thumb because they wanted
because there's a Supreme Court.
That's who they are.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they go to the mall in that, but I think if they're going to swear in the president, they wear the robes.
That's them on the clock. They're not on the clock.
But you're acting like you feel like
clock.
it's like a doctor wearing scrubs out to dinner is what you're saying.
That's also ridiculous.
That looks like you're covered in fucking germs.
They're
I see a fucking If I see a nurse like that, I'm like, oh my God, please get a shower.
They're OR scrubs. Oh, are they?
But I think that they were under official business last night.
unless they're ruling or writing some bullshit up, it ain't official business. They're just sitting there to get roasted. I mean, and they knew that was what's going to happen when they walked out there.
Actually, nobody believed it. I watched Fox News before, and Brian, whatever his name is, was going, please don't bring up the Supreme Court, Mr. President. Please, it will not play well. You know what I mean? And he was just saying, Congress has nothing to do with me, and neither do these people. You know what I mean? Like, this is a one-man show. And then he was just giving people the show was exhausted. You know what I mean? Just a guy suddenly would get a medal, not know he was going to get a medal. And they would pick on him. Like 100-year-old man got a fucking medal.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It was ugly. It was a ridiculous 2-hour-long thing.
All right, we gotta wrap this one up today. I think we fixed a lot of things. I'm pretty proud
I know we did.
of some of the things we accomplished today. All right, stay safe.